Good evening, everyone. Our event will now begin. Please give a warm welcome to the Enthuse Foundation Board Vice Chairwoman, Lisa Petrella.
Thank you. Thank you. I am so happy to be here, friends. Welcome, everyone, to the 6th annual Enthuse Foundation Pitch Nights. And welcome to our beautiful new venue, the Town Hall by Skylight. Isn't it great? Yeah. I want to especially thank the Enthuse and Inspira agency clients who came out to support the foundation and our finalists tonight. Thank you. And I want to welcome those of you who are joining us remotely via Zoom. We're so glad you're with us, and stick around because you have an important role to play. This is the night we look forward to all year. The night that some incredible women founders make their pitch to win cash and services to support their women-owned businesses. I hope you had a chance to meet them and the other wonderful women founders at our Pitch Night Marketplace just before the show. But don't worry, if you missed the marketplace, you can shop online using this QR code. And while you have your phones out, you can learn more about tonight's event and prepare to participate in voting for one of tonight's awards by following. We'll put it back up when time comes for voting. Tonight, whether you are here in person or joining us online, one thing is for sure. None of us would be gathering to celebrate these incredible finalists without two very special women founders who I would like to bring to the podium now. The co-founders of Enthuse Marketing and Enthuse Foundation, Kim Lawton and Christy Snyder.
Thank you, Lisa. And thank you for being our incredible host again this year. Kim and I want to thank all of you for coming this evening. Can you believe this is our 6th pitch night?
Yeah.
It's our night to celebrate the moxie, the innovation, and the passion of our finalists. And we're so lucky to get to see them in action as they will be pitching very soon. But the truth is, even though this is our special night, we celebrate women founders every day. Not only as founders that supports women-owned businesses year-round. That's Rachel Robbins and Ann Diadamo. Please stand. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you, Ann. Woo! If you haven't already, I encourage you to connect with the foundation and encourage the entrepreneurs in your life to do so as well. We do better when we share insights, connections, skills, and resources. Tonight, you're going to see that in action as we award more than $65,000 in cash and services to this year's pitch competition winners. This is not only a great opportunity for our finalists, it's a wonderful opportunity for all of us to learn about their businesses while also learning from the priceless feedback of our esteemed judges that they will be sharing tonight. The Enthuse Foundation exists because women founders don't get the same opportunities, support, and access to capital as their male counterparts. We are here to change that by bringing businesses together to create opportunities like Pitch Night, our grant program, and so much more. When I think of the power of connecting people and businesses and creating opportunities, I think of my co-founder and longtime friend, Kim Lawton, who is going to share more about the mission of the Enthuse Foundation and what we've been able to accomplish with your help.
Thanks, Christy. As a nonprofit that invests in women entrepreneurs and the new to next type of entrepreneur, those that are just coming out, we understand the power of community, education, and most importantly, capital. And we also understand the resources that are needed and so much for women entrepreneurs. When we look at the biggest struggle that women in business have today, it's actually capital. And there's a startling statistic, I'll say, not surprising, that 2% of all VC funding goes to women-owned business, 2%. However, almost 40% of businesses are owned by women. So when you think of that fact of 2% of funding goes, what happens? There's less funding to those businesses, those ideas, those innovations, and everything that women-owned businesses are here to do, their ideas go lost. And we understand that what we can do as a foundation, as well as a community, we can bring that up. When that statistic first came out in 2018, when we started the foundation, we wanted to do something about it. The forecast was that by today, in 2024, we'd be at 15%. Startling difference, right? It hasn't moved in all of those years. So again, what does that mean? That innovation, those ideas and those businesses die. They don't come to life. They don't come to the light. So today, we're shining the bright lights of this new venue on women in business. That's why we have the marketplace. That's why we have the pitch night. We want to do something about it, and every single person in this room can be a part of that. So thank you for being here, and special thank you to our clients that are here, because as a client, you are investing in women-owned businesses, us. And the foundation... And another fact, if we didn't have our clients at Enthuse, we wouldn't even have a foundation, so thank you for that. But again, you don't have to be a business, you don't have to work in a big business to be a part of this. We can make an impact. Every single person can shine that light on women-owned businesses by shopping in the marketplace, supporting these wonderful finalists that are here tonight. And I just want you to feel empowered to help us grow this community and make that impossible possible. That's my name, Kim Possible. Whoop. But speaking of impact, I want to share with you all of the impact that we're making at the Enthuse Foundation throughout those last 6 years. So roll the video.
Yes. Speaking of women, investing in women, it's time to thank some very special people tonight, our sponsors. Tonight's pitch competition and the work the foundation does year-round wouldn't be possible without the support of our generous sponsors. Our funding sponsors this evening are 21 Seeds Tequila, 1990 Investment Council, Accountability, the Alera Group, Alliance, Citron Cooperman, Cross Agency, Fidelity Investments, Ely Cafe, Kendra Scott, Stacked, and Webster Bank. And tonight's in-kind sponsors are B2B KP by Kellyanne Parker, Brand Spoken, Cheeky, Emerge CPG, Hummingbirds, Luminary, and Seafood Media. Please join me in giving all of our sponsors a huge round of applause. You too could support the work of the Enthuse Foundation and help women founders get access to the capital, community, and education that they need. You can make a donation to support the Enthuse Foundation by following this QR code. Remember, your contribution could be life-changing. We hope you'll join us in supporting these incredible entrepreneurs. Speaking of incredible, it's time to introduce our esteemed judges for tonight's pitch competition. Joining us tonight with some pretty impressive business chops are first-time judge and sponsor Nicole Emanuel, the co-founder of 21 Seeds Tequila. And our returning judges from Ely Cafe, Jack Edwards. From Diageo, Eugene Kabinski. And our 2020 pitch competition winner and the founder of Femly, Arian Long. Let's give all of our judges a big round of applause. Now, let's get to know the judges. Nicole, this is your first pitch night. As a woman founder, what are you looking for in a great pitch from our finalists tonight?
I'm definitely looking for a woman that has grit, which we all know most women have grit, so that shouldn't be and two, a person that's not afraid to dream out loud and really make her passion into a reality.
Love it. Thank you, Nicole. Jack, you've been a judge for many of our pitch nights. I'm curious, how do you feel the competition has evolved, and has what you're looking for in a great pitch changed over the years?
I don't think the change in the pitch, it's more, I've been looking for consistent things, but what I love is how big this crowd is and how amazing this venue is. And the pitches in the competition just keep getting better and better, and it's the most inspirational night of the year for me, and I absolutely love being here. So
love it. Thank you. Eugene, as a longtime judge, what do you think the mark of a great pitch is, and what do you hope to hear from our finalists tonight?
I think a great pitch is something that's really authentic, passionate, and really shows the excitement and differentiation behind the product. And mostly what I'm really interested in seeing is how well the founders understand who their consumer is, how are they connecting with their consumer, what are they learning, and how are they applying those learnings.
Fantastic. Arian, you always have such great feedback on our finalists. Any last words of advice for these women founders before they take the stage?
Yes, do it scared and shoot for the moon.
Woo! Love it. Okay, I mentioned earlier that each of you in our audience, including those of you joining us virtually, have an important role to play here tonight. As our audience, you are the fifth judge. Your job is to listen closely to our pitches this evening and decide which pitch is your favorite. At the conclusion of the pitches, we will share a QR code that will allow you to place your vote for the audience choice winner. So what is exactly up for grabs tonight? I can tell you these are the biggest, most exciting prize packages we've ever had for a pitch night. Let's take a look at this year's prizes. First is the Audience Choice Prize Package, which, thanks to a recent fundraiser with Stacked, the maker of the multifunctional foldable yoga mat, it's even larger. The Audience Choice Prize Package now has a total value of $6,000 that includes $3,000 in cash and access to the Hummingbird's user-generated content platform. Next, we have our runner-up prize package, which totals $25,000 and includes $10,000 cash, 20 hours of business services from Enthuse, access to Hummingbirds, a 1-year learning pass from Emerge CPG, a brand and sales building program, helping emerging CPG founders grow sustainably and profitably, and a 1-hour coaching call with Kellyanne Parker, the founder of Send Ribbon, acquired by Urban Stems. And last, our biggest prize, our grand prize package for tonight's top pitch, is valued at more than $35,000. It includes $15,000 cash, 20 hours of business services from Enthuse, access to the Hummingbirds, 1 social media package from Seafood Media that includes 12 pieces of original content, one year Luminary membership, a 1-year learning pass from Emerge CPG, and a 1-hour coaching call with Kellyanne Parker. It's important to note that we had a record number of applicants for the Enthuse Foundation Pitch Night this year. Over 325. Amazing. The foundation team pored over the entries, and it all came down to these 5 incredible women and their businesses. The finalists for the 2024 Enthuse Foundation Pitch Night are Claire Matern, founder of Joni. Sharisa Kell, founder of Neoteen. Suzanne Sinatra, founder of Private Packs. Michelle Houston, founder of, to be honest, Beverage Company. And Morgan Murdoch, founder of Unbothered Foods. We're about to meet each one of these founders and learn a lot more about their exciting businesses. But first, here's how the competition works. Each finalist has 4 minutes to pitch and cannot go over. They can't go over. I'm going to cut them off. The finalists can see our countdown clock that's down here, and they will be asked to conclude if they go over. Coming in. After each finalist pitches, we will give our judges 6 minutes to ask questions and provide feedback. When all 5 pitches are over, the judges will deliberate backstage and cast their votes based on product viability, innovation, strength of the founding team, and presentation skills. All right, who's ready? Ready? Katie Dunn, are you ready? You ready? Faustini, you ready? Team Woo, are you ready? All right, let's go. Let's do it then. I'd like to welcome our first pitch finalist to the stage, Claire Matern of Joni. Are you ready? All right, Claire.
Knock, knock. Verjus. Joni, Verjus for you. But what even is Verjus? Verjus can help us tackle the problem of 12 million tons of annual waste generated by the global wine industry. Verjus gives us the opportunity to use the grapes that, as I like to say, don't even get to fulfill their destiny to become wine. Because, depending on the type of wine being produced, up to 70% of grapes are actually cut pre-harvest in a process called thinning. This gives the grapes that will become wine that extra room to grow, but at the expense of a lot of wasted grapes. Verjus is that pressing. Verjus translates to green juice from French, and it is the pressing of those hard, green, unripened grapes. It is naturally 0.0 APV, sugar-free, and has a tart and unique flavor. A flavor that Joni celebrates. Joni is non-alcoholic, free from added sugar, and can be enjoyed as is straight from the can or used as a mixer with a conventional or an NA spirit. I like to call it a choose-your-own adventure drink, and every can has a QR code that sends you to a recipe page on our website. I designed Joni to pair well with food, to be part of your evening wind-down routine, or to be sipped at any gathering. And since launching last year, we've used 900 gallons of Verjus and counting. We also brought home gold, silver, and bronze medals from this year's World Alcohol Free Awards in London and the International Non-Alcoholic Competition Awards. Compared to other NA canned drinks, traditional wines, and other adult beverages, Joni is less than 50 calories a serving, free from added sugar, and sustainable using upcycled ingredients. The NA market is growing fast and is estimated to be worth $30 billion next year. And more people are taking days off from drinking or participating in Dry January or Sober October, or simply switching to an NA throughout their evening as a pacer. Our target market is part of that growing sober curious crowd, and they're foodies. They love to try new things, they go to farmers markets on the weekend, they shop at specialty stores. They're similar to me, but more importantly, they're the customer I have catered to my whole life. My name is Claire Matern, I'm the founder of Joni, and I grew up in specialty food retail. I am second generation food industry. My family owned a cheese store for 20 years, and I spent many of them working at it. I've also worked as a recipe developer, in production, in marketing, and I hold a degree in supply chain management. I have shared and advocated for small brands while working on a shop floor, and it's been my strategy to harness that power of small retailers who care about and curate their products and get to know their customers. Since launching last year, we have doubled our wholesale accounts and more than doubled our online D2C sales. And we will continue to grow by building that portfolio of retailers, bars, and restaurants, and other hospitality settings like hotels, membership clubs, and music and wellness festivals. I also want to develop a keg program for bars and on-premise accounts, and a monthly subscription case club for D2C sales. It's my goal to work with regional distribution partners for wholesale expansion and onboard a 3PL for online fulfillment. We have proven concept, and we are currently self-sustaining. We are in the position to grow, and with mentorship and resources, I believe we can 10x our current projections. So the next time you need a drink, don't forget to invite Joni.
Fantastic. Thank you, Claire. And now our judges have 6 minutes to ask follow-up questions. Nicole, we're going to start with you. Do you have any questions for Claire?
I sure do. So I know that your strategy is smaller specialty retailers. Are you focused regionally? Do you want to go mass? And what's your competitive price, your everyday price?
Yeah, so right now we're focused regionally. I'm Brooklyn-based, so we really are in the tri-state area, but we are actively talking with distribution in Maine right now. We are on the kind of the East Coast. We're in the Midwest a little bit. We're randomly in Alaska. So yeah, we're expanding, and I would love to get onto the West Coast. I think it's a great market, but right now we're just kind of doing it region by region. Competitive pricing, our price is $6 MSRP. Wholesale is $2.95, and that's been fine for retails. And then on premise, people are getting up to $8.
I have a question.
Sure.
Did I cut someone off?
Go ahead.
Okay, great. What are you thinking of in terms of leveraging sustainability and climate legislation as you support Joni's growth?
I can't speak to legislation necessarily, but I do think there's a lot of space to use a lot of these ingredients that aren't even making it to market. And I think overall, food waste is a huge issue, and verjus specifically being food waste at the beginning of a life cycle, not even making it to being processed to become wine. There's a lot of the concept of falling fruit. I think there's a lot to do with fruit and produce that never even make it to the shelf, let alone like the past shelf life of fruit. So I think there's a lot of experimentation and growth in that, and I'd love to be involved in it.
1,000%. And this is a resource for you, Claire, and anyone in the audience that has a food and bev company. Exelon, an energy company, has a competition called 2C2I, where they are funding companies like yours with $200,000. So we'll talk after.
We will talk after.
Can you tell me a little bit more about who your target consumer is and how are you really delivering that message, including the sustainability piece, right?
Yeah.
And kind of.
So the target customer is anyone who is deciding to drink less or choosing when to kind of go to a non-alc drink throughout their evening, but I don't even use that language necessarily. I just say Joni is a drink for if you just want to drink, or in that very moment you're not having alcohol. So it is used as a pacer. So the customer isn't always even necessarily, I don't talk about the sustainability aspect necessarily at like a demo per se, but our customer is millennial, Gen Z, and Gen X. They care about what's going on in the world, and they care about what they're consuming, and they like to hear about the process and the supply chain behind what they consume and where it all comes from.
Great, thank you very much. Great presentation. Just a question on your supply chain. How does that work? And also a bit about the shelf stability of the product.
So we are shelf stable up to 1 year or even beyond. We worked with Cornell for our processing authority. So great people in not only wine, but also a lot of fruits and vegetables and produce. So we are shelf stable between 1 year and 18 months. And our supply chain, I work with a California vineyard. Actually, to bring in my family history of being in specialty food, my verjus supplier, who's the first commercially verjus created in America, his first big account was Dean & DeLuca in 1993 when my dad was general manager of Dean & DeLuca, but we didn't realize that until I started using his verjus. And so the food world's very small.
Any other questions from our judges?
Just another, are you planning on doing like a B Corp or a give back just to basically hone in on the fact that your product is doing something more than just what's in the can, and given that your demo that you're focusing on really cares about this, climate change and food?
I'm totally open to that and would love to explore that path and what the steps are to take to become a B Corp. I used to work in sustainability and fashion, so it's a big part of my life and would love to take those steps.
You showed how you stand out, right, and how you're differentiated versus some of the other brands out there. But who is the best brand out there that you're really seeing growth from, and how do you differentiate to them today?
A competitor?
Yeah.
A lot. So I would say that in terms of the non-alc space, big brands that have really taken off, for instance, Gia, is a really big brand and would be something that we sit next to on shelves a lot. I think it just comes down to taste profile a lot of times. As I say, we sit next to a lot of different non-alc brands, especially in non-alcoholic shops. And that would just come down to, what are you looking for? Is it an actual alternative that you're looking for? Is it a bitter versus herbal versus sweet? So I'm able to share with people what Joni is, and then if it fits into what they're actually looking for, then that's why they go to us.
And that's 6 minutes. Let's hear it one more time for Claire Matern and Joni. We're going to welcome our next finalist, Charissa Kell and of Neotine.
Hey.
Welcome. Are you ready to go?
I am.
All right. All yours.
Hi, I'm Charissa Kell, founder of Neotine. As a busy mom, athlete, and avid traveler, I really struggled to find an on-the-go drink that gave me the protein and the electrolytes I needed to stay hydrated without feeling bloated. Eating Well states that during physical activity, protein and electrolytes are depleted, and it is essential for your overall wellness to replenish those. And Dr. Axe and Medical News Today states that protein and electrolyte deficiencies do create anxiety, headaches, muscle cramps, and also can impact your mood. Great View Research projects that the protein hydration market will reach $1.3 billion by 2030. So I created Neotine, an electrolyte drink mix with 10 grams of protein, and it's designed for women. It's in a stick pack, and it has clean ingredients. It's sugar-free, carb-free, and low in calories. Our target market includes millennial women whose household income is at least $75,000, and we are going after that $6.77 billion sports drink market. Products on the market right now, like Liquid IV, Prime, and Slate, solely focus on either protein or electrolytes, but no one's doing both. Since we launched in May of 22, we have done $600,000 in revenue through Amazon, QVC, and several retailers, including The Feed, Central Market, and Pop-Up Grocer. In 2024, Good Housekeeping named us A+ Fitness Fuel for their protein and hydration boost in their Best of Fitness Awards. In 2025, we expect to do $5 million in revenue by launching a new flavor on QVC, as well as scaling our Amazon channels. And we're in talks right now with a category buyer for a late 2025 launch at Target. In 2026, we're planning to expand into Costco, GNC, Vitamin Shop, and get on all of the military bases, as well as growing out our other channels. This gives us a projected revenue of $30 billion. In 2024, 85% of our revenue came from QVC. 10% came from online, and the rest came from retail. In 2025, we expect to have 50% of our revenue coming from online, 25% coming from QVC, and the rest coming from retail. The funds from the Enthuse Foundation will help Neotine generate $150,000 in revenue over the next 6 months. $12,000 will be used to add 5 and 10 count boxes to our line. $2,000 will be used to enhance our website, and $750 will be used to update our package design. And the in-kind reward will greatly help our social media and marketing strategies, which will help us scale on Amazon and drive velocity into retail. I am the CEO of Neotine, and I have a background in business development with the Department of Defense, and I was a former USA triathlete. Chris Kell, our COO, is a former Army Special Operations veteran and an Amazon veteran.
And that's time. Let's hear it for Sharissa. Great job. Now we have 6 minutes of judges' questions, and we're going to start this time with Jack.
So I love where the business is today and what you're doing in QVC. As you expand into retail, how are you really going to deliver that message? Because I think that's probably one of the compelling things about QVC is you can tell the consumer what it is, why they should buy it, but how do you do that when you expand so much within retail?
Yes, I appreciate your question. So actually, we have worked with the category buyer at Target specifically to address that, which would drive velocity. And we are actually updating our packaging slightly so that when you see it, you compare it directly to Liquid IV. But it also has protein. So we're really focusing on the way that the box design looks when it's side by side in that category.
Thank you so much. My question is, can you talk a little bit about your brand or your consumer marketing strategy and how you're building that brand awareness?
We actually just brought on somebody to handle our social media. So we are working to grow out the affiliate marketing on both TikTok and Instagram. We have a good following on Instagram, and we're really just starting the TikTok for brand awareness to grow out that consumer side. And then for our online sales that I mentioned earlier, a lot of that will actually come from Amazon, and we are now, for the first time, starting to invest money in growing out that channel in terms of advertising.
I have a question. Are you thinking about your product is very light, which is fantastic for direct-to-consumer subscription, Amazon, TikTok shops, Instagram shop, like all of that. Are you thinking about that strategy, given the fact that you could flip them into subscription and have a real LTV?
Yeah, so we have actually seen our Amazon subscriptions start to grow, and in January, we're going to start working with an organization to help us. We'll be on Fulfilled by TikTok at that time. They kind of had a hiatus during this holiday for adding new brands so that we can grow out those social channels as well.
So my question is on your omni-channel strategy. Have you thought about sports teams and maybe potential colleges or partnerships in that arena? What does that look like?
I have been approached by them, and full disclosure, I don't have the money right now to do that. But also, just to be honest, part of what we're trying to create is transparency in all that we do. And a lot of consumers got really burnt out during COVID with so many influencers popping up. So we're actually trying to find somebody who aligns with us that I don't have to pay to like it, because I really think that that reads negatively. And so when we find the right partner, we're very excited about that. We do actually have some teams that buy in bulk and use our product that way, but we haven't pursued that for that reason.
And then a quick follow-up question to that. Given the opportunity to win this competition tonight, who are the top 3 team members that you would foresee adding to support your omni-channel growth?
Yes. So I plan to bring somebody on for that social media side. Full disclosure, I am like 39. Social media and I do not jive. I don't get it. So I really I'm excited to have people who get it and love it and can aid in that. And I lack also in marketing. I am very great at being type A and running a business and being creative on that product development side. When it does come to like the creative ad stuff, it takes me an exponential amount of time to get where somebody does. So that's really where I feel like my gaps are.
Yes, I agree that you should always hire people that are smarter than you in the areas that they're smarter than you and let them run. So know what you're good at and know what you're not good at. And also, just to piggyback on what you said earlier, I agree with you. I think micro-influencers, where they have a huge engagement, people are very fatigued on huge celebrity-driven campaigns. They want authenticity and that sort of thing. And it really allows you to test quickly and test deeply in each, like demo and attributes of each characteristic of a customer. So that's a good way of differentiating yourself.
And this last bit of feedback is more so a resource. Marketer Hire for you or anyone in the audience is a great platform where you can hire a fractional marketing person, head of sales, head of social and digital media. So definitely check out marketerhire.com.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Let's hear it one more time for Sharissa and her fantastic shoes. If you can see, they're branded with Neotine. Wonderful, great job. Are we having fun? Feeling good? All right, it's time For our third finalist, we have Suzanne Sinatra and Private Packs.
Hi, everyone. My name is Suzanne Sinatra, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Private Packs. We are revolutionizing the women's health category with providing pain management solutions, and this is a pain point for 14 million women in the US, and our hero product addresses 10 vulvovaginal pain. So you're thinking, is this really a problem? Is there pain down there suffered by women that they're unaware about? There is a problem because we are not considered when it comes to science. For instance, women were not considered in clinical trials until 1993. And just to give you some background, the first clinical trial was in 1863. We are also shamed for the pain that we have, and some of our symptoms, or most of our symptoms, cannot be seen with the natural eye, which leaves doctors and loved ones to think that it's in our head. Also, we are not even aware of the pain that we're in, and because there is a lack of science-backed research, we can't even find that information for ourselves, leaving us to feel lonely and by ourselves to be in our pain. I came up with the product after I was in for the fight of my life. I had stage 3 breast cancer, and I spoke to my oncologist, and I was unaware that the chemotherapy that I had was going to be inducing me into menopause. It was while walking I realized I had severe vaginal dryness from the chemotherapy, and like a normal cancer patient or any patient would do, they'd go to their doctor and ask for some type of medicine to help them with their pain, and the doctor said to sit on a bag of peas and take antidepressants. And I promptly replied, "My vagina's in pain, not depressed." But that's where the idea for the product came from. Now, I did do some initial research. I did go online, and this is what happened when I typed in vulva pain relief in Pinterest. All DIY hacks. I also spoke to my friends, but they recommended that I go to the mommy aisle. However, I have many failed pregnancies and failed IVF, so going to the mommy aisle for helping my vaginal pain was just way too traumatizing. Also, the feminine care aisle and the pain relief aisle is a sea of blue, and there's nothing for intimate body part pain. Which leaves us to Private Packs, which is our hero product. It is hot and cold. It is FDA registered, and we also work with a FDA certified facility that shows the customer that's buying it there is safety and efficacy at every step in the process. We are FSA and HSA reimbursable for those that have insurance, as well as we are sustainable. Our product can be used for up to a year. Unlike those crack packs that you use one time and you throw it out, that's not what we do over here. And we've also won an award by Pop Sugar for Best Sexual Accessory. And this is our traction. I started the company in 2021. 1 month later, I was accepted into the CVS pilot program. Later that year, we got a 576 store distribution deal. In 2023, we got a distribution deal with Target, leading us to over 1,200 store shelves in over 40 states, leading to a 62.8% year-over-year growth.
And that's time.
Sorry?
And that's time.
And that's it.
Well done, Suzanne. We have 6 minutes on our clock for our judges, and we're going to start with Eugene.
Great presentation. Great job identifying a real consumer need and creating a product to fill that need. I saw on that last slide your CAC, your customer acquisition cost, was zero. I'm assuming that's because you haven't really invested in marketing yet. Is that correct?
Yes, the only marketing that I've invested in is $60 in a vagina suit that I wear on Instagram, and I use it for marketing.
So as you begin to scale and invest more in marketing, how do you intend to raise brand awareness? What are the strategies you're going to put in place to really drive that consumer brand awareness?
Thank you for that question. So luckily, because I knew what was potentially going to happen on Election Day, we did buy all our inventory, and it's already in the States. So what we're going to do with the money that we win is spend it all on marketing. And we want to use micro-influencers, but like pelvic floor physical therapists, not so much gynecologists because now they're pay to play, as well as gyms and athletes because you could use our product if you go back on Peloton. Yeah. And we're also going to be using some of the money for retail marketing, like doing in-store demos at Target and CVS. So because we really want to bring up our velocity in store, even though we've had multi-year contracts with them, so we are doing well, we just want to kick it up a notch. Because if you don't know why you're in pain down there, because your doctor has not been able to inform you what the problem is, at least you can go buy something for $20 at the store, which also works for low-income purchasers as well. So really, brand awareness through influencers is where we're seeing our marketing dollars spent. More vagina costume too. So.
As someone who completely loves saying vaginas,
Yes.
I 100% support this. And so my question is around your team. As you scale your distribution, how are you thinking about growing and building that successful and resilient team to see you through to success?
Great question. Thank you so much. And I love what you've done with Family Health. I've watched your traction and growth, so congratulations to you. For our team, I just had a co-founder join us. His name is Derek Monson, and he has a very specialized program background in D2C as well as the OTC space. He's worked for L'Oreal. He's also worked for Plan B, which is naturally a fit for us. And we plan to build out the R&D and supply chain part of the team so we can add consumable products to the product line overall.
And I have a quick follow-up if you all don't mind. We know that this is for vaginas.
Yes.
But what are the other ways that you are seeing people use this product?
So I know people use it on their sinuses and their eyes and their headache. Like when they have a headache, they use it on their heads. But also 4% of our customers are men. And when I reach out to them to ask them, why did you buy our product? A lot of them are getting vasectomies and they're using private packs post-vasectomy surgery because it is an outpatient operation.
My question is, 100% it makes sense when you think of medical and how do I solve for this. How do you make it more mass where for after pleasure or whatever it is that you could help people understand that this could be some part of a ritual in your life versus something you need only at certain moments of your life?
So we do try to inform people that private packs is more like an insurance policy. You don't know when you'll need it, but you're glad that you have it. So with some of the money, we're also going to launch a PSA campaign, which is going to be don't judge me for my pain, don't shame me for my pain, and it's going to be addressing topics that people, to your point, know they have or don't know that they have. And really, I kind of put myself out there and put all my business in the streets, which is not good for my dating life. But by me sharing my story, it helps people know that they're not alone, and that's a big part of our marketing strategy.
So I think you said gynecologists are pay to play, right?
Yes.
Have you thought about using doctors, hospitals, and giving some freebies to try to see if they would just naturally do it, or is that not possible in that space?
Yes, we've given free product to gynecologists, and we've also which we've seen most success, is other female-led female startups. So we've just sent a box over to Miami to a really great app called Pelly Health, and they focus on pelvic health. And they're doing a big event that will be attended by doctors in the Miami region, and they're getting our product.
And then what is your price and your margins, and how is, Target impacting that?
So we have one product, which is a hot and cold therapy pack that it has 3 different variations. We have a single pack, a 2-pack, and a 3-pack. The 1-pack is sold exclusively at retail. CVS and Target have 2 different prices, wholesale, which I'm not going to reveal online. Hi, Zoom. Our 2-pack and 3-pack is sold exclusively on privatepacks.com, and that has an 86% profit margin and an 89% profit margin, which will change with the new government coming in. They will reduce, I'm assuming, by 50%.
And that's time.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Let's hear it one more time for Suzanne Sinatra and Private Packs. Thank you. Fantastic. Okay, it's moving quickly, right? I feel like it's going very fast. Our next presenter is Michelle Houston and To Be Honest Beverage Company. Welcome, Michelle. Oh, you look amazing. Are you ready to go?
I am ready to go.
Good luck.
Motivated by the state of my mental health, I stopped drinking 2.5 years ago to manage anxiety, fatigue, and lethargy. Alcohol is so ingrained in our culture that pausing felt like missing out on rituals and social events. But with time, I realized it's not what you're giving up, but rather what you're welcoming in. Transitioning away from alcohol for functional alternatives is the trend. 61% of Gen Z are alcohol-free for their mental health specifically, and cutting back. 1 in 3 Americans tried non-alcoholic drinks last year, and the most common feedback for non-alcoholic spirits is that they're either bland or pointless, lacking the flavor, function, and sophistication consumers crave. Enter To Be Honest, a CBD-infused spirit alternative for sober, curious drinkers exploring non-alcoholic cocktails. Our first product, Focus, inspired by a London dry gin, is botanical and herbaceous, perfect for a zero-proof G&T or gimlet. Forbes Health reports that CBD offers benefits like stress relief, relaxation, and better sleep, flavor and function, so you feel good now and even better later. The US CBD market is projected to grow at 44% annually, as the non-alcoholic market is growing at 31%, priming us to take advantage of both these high-growth opportunities. Our combined addressable market is $1.8 billion for non-alcoholic drinks and $1.2 billion for CBD beverages. Our ideal client is the female Gen Z socialite leading this movement. 36% of Gen Z are alcohol-free for their mental health specifically, and want beverages that offer an experience. More than a drink, a lifestyle shift. In our test market year, we validated our product with over $25,000 in gross sales, all 5-star reviews, and 0 refund requests. Activations have proven consistent sales at a 90% event ROI, and digitally we have a customer return rate of 55%. We've been featured in food and drink publications, as well as Sober Curious podcasts, and attending key events has aligned us with trusted organizations, strengthening our brand. Our go-to-market strategy spans 4 channels: on-premise in high-end venues, off-premise in boutique markets, direct-to-consumer via e-commerce, and ambassador programs targeting colleges or wellness communities. We're competitive in cost, versatility, and CBD content. But what sets us apart? The perfect balance of texture, flavor, and function without sugary, bland fillers. Mixability, shelf life, and wellness benefits in one bar-ready product. We've launched loyalty, referral, and affiliate programs. Bootstrapped to this point, we're expanding across California initially as we raise a friends and family round currently. Our e-commerce reach will continue to grow through digital bottle shops, wholesalers like Airgoods, and eventually Amazon. Our pricing reflects an MSRP of $55, direct-to-consumer at $45, and wholesale for $30. With an average of 70% profit margin, we're on track to achieve profitability within 2 years. Our team blends my decade of sales, marketing, and public relations, an award-winning craft beverage manufacturer, and skilled graphic designer shaping our brand identity. The $15,000 Enthuse grant will fund batch production, direct-to-consumer unboxing, R&D for our next bourbon whiskey style, and the Mindful Drinking Fest. The Enthuse and additional in-kind services will drive 3 targeted campaigns with an e-commerce funnel for dry January and beyond. There's an opportunity and demand to improve upon our spirit alternatives. With To Be Honest, you get to welcome in a complex, alcohol-free cocktail that tastes fabulous and makes you feel even better. So let's change our drinking culture together.
Right on time. Well done. All right, we have 6 minutes for our judges, and this time we're going to start with Arian.
So when you did your user research and your testing, what were some of the pain points that you identified within Gen Z that led to the 36% reduction in alcoholic consumption?
Yeah, so the 36% target demographic in terms of transitioning away from alcohol for mental health is that we're finding that Gen Z, along with some of our other customer profiles, are finding the way that alcohol impacts them negatively in the days to follow. So there's a lack of motivation, lethargy, lack of focus. If you're hungover, you can't necessarily get up, move about the day. And so that's really, I think, encouraging folks to make a transition. Health concerns, some of the customer discovery conversations that we have been geared towards those who are going through chemotherapy and maybe have been pushed to not drinking because of that reason, along with other stories in terms of alcohol impacting their relationships, not feeling good when they're laying down to go to sleep, among other stories.
Thank you.
Hi. First of all, the bottle is gorgeous, so I want to give you that. The price point, though, for Gen Z is a big number to swallow, given that they might be the first time drinking this. It's more than alcohol itself or a nice bottle of gin, if that's the consumer you're going for. Have you thought about doing, if you need the price point to be, it is what it is, to do a smaller size, like a 375, in order to get that number, the MSRP down, in order for people to more trial your product, given that it might be hard convincing them to spend $55 on something that they haven't tried yet?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have additional customer profiles, of which are your boomers who are transitioning away from alcohol, again, for health reasons typically. You have millennial parents who are prioritizing family, don't want to drink Monday through Friday, or don't want to be drinking in front of their kids. So we do have other customer profiles that we're targeting. Our ideal client with the Gen Z is really to identify the brand and to have a certain level of appeal, kind of like that soft girl era, that stepping into your main character energy, which also appeals to our other target demographics and profile. That being said, comparatively, when you look at CBD beverages, specifically RTD on the market, you have canned beverages in ready to drink that are of the 20 to 25 milligrams per can. We have 25 milligrams of CBD per fluid ounce in our beverage. It's a 25-ounce bottle, so that is the equivalent of about 25 cans of product. So when you look at it that way, and you look at Gen Z consuming canned products, if they're buying a $4 to $6 can, that's $100 plus for the actual CBD content of what they're consuming. So we haven't had a lot of pushback in terms of our price point when it's presented in a way that makes sense to the consumer. That being said, we do have a 375 in terms of our plan.
And then sorry. And then in terms of, because looking at the bottles, sometimes it might be hard to understand the use or the occasion that you're using the bottle for. So are you messaging what cocktails or mocktails, I should say, that you're doing, or what occasion you're seeing them use this at, so that you really can message home to that consumer how to use it, how to use your product?
Yes. So in terms of the product appealing to a larger demographic when we can't talk to them directly, it replaces a liquor or alcohol in your cocktail. It can be used in an at-home environment, and we'll actually have syrups released under our brand that will only be available as an add-on to up the order cart value. So they won't be sold independently. But a lot of folks want to have maybe the easiest option for consuming in an at-home environment. So we offer recipes as well as suggestions in terms of how they can mix that up, and then we let them sort of discover what it is that they like. So it's about the education piece as well as the encouragement piece with that.
You have a pretty aggressive go-to-market strategy for the future, right? How are you going to phase that in? Are you going to prioritize what you're going to do next year? Tell me a little bit more about that, please.
Absolutely. Our plan is to prioritize. If we try to do too much at once, we won't accomplish very much. So we do have several channels that we're looking to explore, the 4 that I explained. So our direct-to-consumer model will continue to grow with organic and paid strategies in the digital space. Our distribution model will continue to basically pursue niche opportunities to start. So non-alcoholic bottle shops, locations that are already selling non-alcoholic options across the nation, and then we'll grow from there. We also plan to grow with growth within California, so expanding county by county from a self-distribution perspective until we can partner. So we want to be able to move outside from San Luis Obispo within California, move county by county, and grow as we evolve while encouraging the public brand awareness with the distribution.
And can you quickly tell us how you'll grow your team, maybe the next 2 hires?
Absolutely. We have plans for funding, so we're doing a round of $150,000 right now for friends and family, $500,000 next year for our first seed round. We'll start with sales manager and representative, and then expand into contractors for digital media marketing.
And time. Fantastic. One more time for Michelle Houston and To Be Honest Beverage Company. Our last finalist is ready to come out. We have Morgan Murdoch and Unbothered Foods. Here comes Morgan. Hello, are you ready to go? It's all yours.
All right. Hi, my name is Morgan Murdoch, and I'm a registered dietitian and the founder of Unbothered Foods. We create traditionally fermented sourdough crackers. Gut check. We have major gut issues and a major gap on the grocery store shelf. Before I launched Unbothered, I was a clinical dietitian and worked with hundreds of patients with digestive health issues, all looking for better food options at the grocery store. Over 41 million people in the US alone struggle with a condition called irritable bowel syndrome, and millions more with gut issues. These individuals are told by their doctors and their healthcare team to eat foods that help alleviate or avoid symptoms, but current gut-friendly options in the market are either lacking in flavor or still contain ingredients they can't have, like nuts, garlic, or onion. We are in need of pantry staples that are flavorful, craveable, and easy to digest. Meet our Unbothered solution. Our first product is traditionally fermented sourdough crackers. We harness the magic of fermentation to create a tangy, crunchy snack, not only for those with sensitive stomachs, but for those looking to elevate their cracker game. Made with high quality and simple ingredients, customers know they're buying a better-for-you snack that makes them feel good, but doesn't skimp on the flavor. Let's talk brand traction. We've come a long way in the last year and a half since we've launched. We have a dedicated, loyal customer fan base, which we call the Sour Squad. Hey. We have an over 30% customer retention rate, and we're in over 45 stores. We do an average sell-through rate of about 20 units a week, and even more in our biggest retailer, Fresh Time. We do 30 or 40 units a week, which is much higher than the rest of our category. Our dedication to gut health and simple ingredients is what their buyer says they really value in our product. So how do we stand out against our competitors? Not only are our crackers traditionally fermented, making them real sourdough, they are nut-free, no sugar added, low FODMAP, made with high-quality, simple ingredients, and they have a craveable factor that the rest of our competitors are lacking: no cardboard crackers. We also have the shelf appeal, or cute packaging, that consumers are looking for increasingly, but hasn't really caught up in the cracker aisle. We have big plans for the future of Unbothered. Over the next few years, we will be working our way towards becoming a national brand. We will do this through incremental and intentional growth. We envision ourselves in a natural retail channel, but have goals of expanding outside of the cracker aisle. We think the power of fermentation can take us much further than just crackers. So who's taking this there? As a digestive health dietitian, I am determined to bring this brand to mainstream retail. I launched a nutrition clinic in Chicago. I was the first hire there, and now they're seeing thousands of patients across the US. Through my time with patients, I was inspired to launch Unbothered, but it also gave me experience in building a brand from the ground up with someone else's money. In addition to my experiences, we have the best team of advisors and experts that will support the brand and help us to make decisions as we scale. From design and marketing to operations, we're the best team possible to make Unbothered Foods a household name. Winning this pitch would be an incredible opportunity as we step into the next season of growth and expansion for Unbothered. We will use the $15,000 in 3 main areas: packaging and design, digital marketing, and production and inventory. In addition to the prize money, I will take full advantage of each resource to support my goals of increasing online engagement, improving SEO, and learning to scale the business with intention. Thank you.
Thank you, Morgan. 6 minutes for our judges, and we're going to go back around and start with Nicole.
Hi.
Hi.
I would love for you to just tell us more about your go-to-market strategy. This seems like a high-end specialty item, given the fact that it solves a lot of problems. So would love to just hear more about that.
Yeah, that's a great question. We envision ourselves in natural retail. Like I said, right now we're mostly in independent stores. We're in Fresh Time, which is a nice Midwest regional store. We picture ourselves in stores like Whole Foods, Sprouts, and growing region by region. We do about 10% of our sales are direct to consumer. So we have a pretty solid base of people that buy direct from us. And a big part of that is my background, and I'm able to, work with my dietitian network to, have them recommend our product. And as a dietitian, I know that patients listen to my recommendations. So really leveraging that space, and it's almost an influencer space, but more on the clinical side. So yeah, our go-to-market is growing regionally in retail, and continuing to grow our direct consumer.
And so my question is more so on differentiation of distribution. Because of your background and true passion for gut health, have you thought about hospitals? Because I'm on the advisory board for Johns Hopkins Health System.
Hi.
Hi. We'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, I mean, that would be amazing. I think, we're at a point where we need to be able to make enough crackers for the margins on that to make sense, because I'm sure that the hospital margin is smaller, obviously, than a direct consumer. But yeah, I mean, that would be amazing. I think one part, and just in true transparency, one part that might be a barrier to that would be we are a traditional sourdough, so we're made with wheat. So on the clinical side, specifically in hospitals, if they're looking for a gluten-free option, right now, we don't have that. So it's, it takes a little bit more explaining to the individual than just gluten-free kind of fit everyone. But I like that idea, and we'll stay in touch.
We will.
So is the biggest consumer you're really going after, is it all about gut health, or is it just the better for you space? And how do you really, if it's just gut health, how do you tell that story?
Yes, great question. And that's something I've learned a lot as I've jumped into this, coming from clinical into business. It's very different. I specialized, when I was a practicing dietitian, I specialized in what's called the low FODMAP diet. And some of you might have heard of it. I've learned to not lean, start with that, because you lose people getting too much into the science. So it is an art, and I found through tons of trials, we did farmers markets, I sample at stores, all of that. People care about the sourdough. They go, ooh, sourdough. That's the first thing that comes out of anyone's mouth. And then it's bonus points because a lot of people do know that it is easier to digest sourdough because of the trend during COVID and all of that. So that's really the first messaging, is really we're a sourdough cracker brand that's gut friendly, and we keep it at that surface level
until people really dig in more. And then the low FODMAP people, they find that on our packaging, because they need it. And that's why I created the brand, to have a convenient option for people that are on low FODMAP. But yeah, how do you zoom out and make that really simple for people? So, great question.
It was really helpful to see both your functional benefit and your positioning versus the competitive set. What about your shelf price? How does that compare versus your competitors?
Yeah, so we're definitely specialty right now. Stores like to put us in the mix with the regular crackers, so that always kind of scares me because a lot of those crackers are at $4.99 or maybe $5.99 even on the higher end for a healthy cracker. Ours right now are at $6.99. They seem to still be doing really well. I think it's a value product for people that they're willing to pay a higher premium for, especially if, everyone's talking about gut health right now. So, I was seeing people with gut health issues before it was cool. So I knew, I knew that would be something worth paying more for. I do hope with scale that we're able to bring the price down a bit and make it more approachable for more people. But right now we are sold in bigger cities, and you can go to Big Night in West Village and buy them for $9, which is a little high to me. But I hope with time that'll come down and we can reach more people with them. And it is going to be possible. So yeah.
Great. And I have a second question. It was terrific to see some of your commercial data like velocity and retention rate. How are you using that data to inform your sales and marketing strategy in real time?
That's a great question. It's pretty easy to talk to stores and say, well, we're doing at least 20 units per week per store, and the category average is about, 6 to 8. We are a small brand and we can't pay for, we don't pay for all of the fancy data. But once we're bigger and we're able to get to that point, I think that'll paint a really solid picture for what we are able to do. But right now it's, I can go into stores and talk to them about it or be on a pitch similar to this and communicate that. And it's going well so far. But I am really excited to be at a larger point where we have more funding to be able to invest in data and grow and be able to gather some more of that information to sell more crackers.
And that's time. One more time for Morgan Murdoch and Unbothered Foods. Great job. All right, we did it. The pitches are complete, and now the difficult work of choosing the winners begins. Judges, you may proceed backstage to deliberate for 20 minutes. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Let's hear it for our amazing group of judges one more time. Okay, audience, it's your time for your special role. Whether you are here in the room with us tonight or joining us remotely, I see you, we need you to vote for your favorite pitch. Simply follow this QR code to the voting page, or you could also go to the link that we have here displayed. As a reminder, you are not voting for your favorite business or product, you are voting for your favorite pitch. This is, after all, the Enthuse Foundation Pitch Competition. Give it some thought and cast your vote. Keep in mind, our judges will be looking at product viability, innovation, strength of the founding team, and presentation skills. Once again, our 5 pitch finalists are shown here. And again, here is the QR code you can use or the websites provided to vote. While our judges deliberate, it's a great time to look back on the impact that the Enthuse Foundation has made on women entrepreneurs over the years and why supporting the work of the foundation is so important. Please join me in welcoming to the stage our panel moderator, Kellyanne Parker of Send Ribbon, acquired by Urban Stems, our 2023 pitch competition winner, Allison Evans of Say So, our 2022 runner-up, Nancy Harris of Vontel, our 2023 finalist, Ashley Sankar of 1920, and Enthuse Foundation board member, Katie Dunn of Power to Pitch.
Thank you, Lisa. It's so great to be here. We have a lot of Pitch alums on our panel tonight, and we have about 20 minutes to chat through and hear from them while our judges deliberate. So, Allison, I want to start with you. You're last year's winner. Can you describe how winning the Enthuse Foundation pitch competition helped fuel Say So's growth in 2024?
Yes, absolutely. And congratulations again to all the finalists tonight. It's been such a great event. Last year, around this time, Chloe, my co-founder who's here, and I, we received really exciting news about our first national grocery store placement at Sprouts Farmers Market. So the way oftentimes it works at Sprouts is you get to be on an innovation set. So you get a 3-month trial period where your brand sits in a barge of new for you products, and only about 20% of those brands get brought in to stay permanently in Sprouts. So it was right around the time of the pitch competition, and we really wanted to make an amazing impression at Sprouts. And by winning the competition, we put the full $10,000 cash prize towards demos at Sprouts during that Jan to March period that we were on trial. And we saw such exciting velocity results that we did land a permanent placement. So we're now nationwide at Sprouts.
That's incredible. It sounds like you've been in a lot of Sprouts.
Yes, we were able to use the money to hire people to visit Sprouts all over the country because there's over 400 doors. So all the local ones in New York, we were able to visit ourselves.
In addition to the capital, can you tell me a little bit more about the in-kind services and other things that you utilized in the Enthuse package that helped Say So?
Yes, definitely. So we were able to work with the Enthuse team on marketing and brainstorming on how we can approach kind of social media efforts surrounding our launch at Sprouts. We both also did win a yearly membership to Luminary for a co-working space, which is super awesome for a team of 2 who work at home. And just in terms of visiting with the events put on by the Enthuse competition, we, this year in January, went to an event at the Diageo headquarters where we were able to meet a bunch of people and sample Say So to them, and it really helps us keep that network open and growing for new customers, potential investors, and fellow entrepreneurs.
That's incredible. Thank you. Nancy.
Yes.
You were our runner-up in 2022. Can you talk about the community the Enthuse Foundation has built, including the foundation team and the resources they make available?
Absolutely. So, first of all, I'm really pleased to be here this evening. The Enthuse Foundation really does cultivate a supportive environment so that women founders can thrive. And with that being said, when we won back in 2022, we had just gotten a license for Nickelodeon. And one of the things that we didn't have was money. We produced the glasses, manufactured them, but we didn't have the money. And so part of the package, as Anne mentioned, and Kim, is that we were able to use a lot of the educational hours that they had so that we could figure things out. The strategic marketing plan was also really a great part of what it was that we were able to do. But as far as the community is concerned, I received a call from Rachel one day. Rachel is part of the foundation. I'm sure many of you know her. She reached out to me and she said, I know you're part of the Tory Burch Foundation. We'd love to tap into their market. And I did an introduction. And as a result of that, they share information from time to time, which is great, which shows you that they're not afraid to go outside of the box and help other people. So that in itself tells you that the resources, the networking, they are an advocate and representative that speaks and amplifies the voice of women, founders, and entrepreneurs across the board. Whenever there's an opportunity, I will receive an email saying, I think this is a grant that you should apply for. They don't hesitate to reach out. So it's really a family. And I am proud to be a part of this organization as a result of that, because a lot of organizations, you know, it's one and done, but not with Enthuse Foundation. It's ongoing, it's continuous, and they're always here to uplift and help women across the board. So I'm really a huge advocate, and anything that I can do as far as lending my voice and my ear for people who are in the pitch competition have reached out to me. What do you think I can do? How can you know, what do you advise? I'll give them that advice because it was given to me because of Enthuse Foundation. So, you know, I really love everything that this organization stands for.
+1 to that.
Thank you. Nancy, you said it so well. You know, for so many of us, it's really about community over competition, and Enthuse really does a wonderful job of doing that. So shout out, Rachel, for all of your help in building that community.
She's amazing, absolutely amazing. She's a dynamo.
Ashley, you were our Enthuse Foundation Pitch Night finalist last year. What impact has being part of the Enthuse Foundation community had on your business? Even though you didn't take home a prize package, what did you get out of last year's competition?
Yeah, I actually got to come back this year, but on the other side. But I actually didn't know that I didn't win, because coming to this competition definitely changed the trajectory of my business. Just by putting me in the room, even though I didn't take home, you know, the typical prize, I was able to meet an investor that otherwise I would have probably never met. Coming to the event, it also led me to go on and shoot a viral video in the subway that, you know, got 30 million views, which led to,
wow.
Yeah,
give it up for that.
Yeah, which led to my first 100K month. So, and then it set me up to be prepared for the biggest pitch of my life, which was Shark Tank. So I would say that, you know, all in all, I came out pretty good. I truly appreciate Enthuse for always thinking of me, whether it's Veterans Day or anything that they're always doing. They never forget about their entrepreneurs. And I think that's something that's truly valuable.
That's incredible. So the experience lasts more than just one night.
Oh, 100%.
I love that, because both of you have described what the foundation's about, and it's not about being transactional, right? It's very much about continuing to give and give back. Katie, you know this very well as a board member here at Enthuse. You've attended all of our pitch nights. What makes the Enthuse Foundation pitch competition different from other events out there? And how has the Enthuse Foundation personally impacted your own entrepreneurial journey?
Well, I will say the first pitch competition I ever went to in my life was the first Enthuse pitch competition. And now I'm in the business of helping people pitch, which is very ironic and a weird twist of events. I was a banker back in the old days. But I came because I was a friend of a friend, or a friend of Kim Lawton and Christy Snyder's, said, Katie, you should go to this event. It'll be really fun. And then I went to the first launch party of Enthuse, and then I just kept going to the events. And I worked in banking. I worked with men all the time. I loved CPG. I loved products, but I wasn't necessarily, I just started looking at investing, and it just gave me the opportunity to see all of these interesting things that women were doing and be in a safe room with other women that wanted to learn and wanted to help each other. So that was the biggest thing for me, is seeing that camaraderie and how people talked to each other and helped each other and offered. Like, did you guys see Arian? Like, okay, I got a connection for you. I got a connection for you. I've seen her do that. I've seen her write checks
on the stage, basically, to founders that just because they were there. It's so incredible. That doesn't happen any other place. It just doesn't. So that's the thing that really drew me to this is you keep coming back because the people are there to support each other. And in terms of helping me as an entrepreneur myself, now, the education and the resources and connections I've gotten because of the team is really incredible. But it was honestly something that Kim Lawton said to me very early on at one of the events. It was back in the WeWork in Midtown, and I don't know if anybody here was at any of those, but I know Ann and Sarah and Christy, but anyway, I said to Kim, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know why, I keep coming to this stuff, and what am I doing? She said, Katie, there is an entrepreneur in you. You're going to find your path, I guarantee it, but we want you here in this room. And that gave me the confidence to keep going and to keep coming to these things and keep talking to people. So I think just that having that one person, there's one person that might say something to you that's going to keep you going, and that person is going to be in this room. And that's what's so great about the Enthuse Foundation.
And I know there's a little bit of time, so I said I was going to tell this story. But so I guess you call it women's intuition. But anyway, when I pitched last year, I knew I wasn't going to win. I knew it. But I said, okay, I'm going to come, I'll network, because I'm pretty introverted. And so when they announced the winners, I didn't win. For some reason, I was shocked. And so, after I went to the bathroom, I was, crying, feeling sorry for myself. And then I had to get it together really quick. 2 minutes. I'm like, okay, get over it. So I go upstairs, and I meet this person. They're like, hey, I want to invest in you. Like, whatever you're doing, I want a part of it. Like, I believe in you. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Just being in the room and being given the opportunity to actually showcase, your business, who you are, can mean, leaps and bounds over winning a prize. Even though, I lost that competition, I still won the race, so absolutely.
Looking back on my entrepreneurial journey, I built my business, and I was very much alone, and I was scared of asking those questions and being in that environment. It's so intimidating knowing that it's only 2% of women receive funding and so on. What advice, and this is free for any of you, what advice would you give an entrepreneur early in their journey that would be slightly intimidated, fundraising or entering this space? What advice or confidence would you provide to an early entrepreneur?
One of the things that I would say is it's okay to fail. You will get back up if you're resilient, and you will continue to go, because that failure will in turn teach you what not to do. Also, learn from other people's mistakes. It's okay. Ask questions, like you said. It's so important, because a lot of us are afraid, oh, I don't want anyone to think that I don't know this. Well, you don't, and you don't know what you don't know. So don't be afraid to ask questions and also another key thing is finding a mentor as well as a sponsor, so that when you're not in the room, people are talking on your behalf and helping you to make inroads in whatever industry that you're in, and also join organizations that align with your brand. It makes sense. So we're in the eyewear business, so we joined the Vision Council. So if you are in fashion, then you probably should be in the Fashion Council, or whatever it is that's in your area. It's really important.
It's great.
And the feedback I would give, which is maybe a little controversial being in the entrepreneur space, is if you can help it, don't quit your job until you know that you have product market fit. Sometimes, you get this grand idea, and you're like, hey, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to, get all these sales and I'm going to market. And 9 times out of 10, it's not going to work that way. Entrepreneurship is hard. You have to figure out how to get your product out there, preferably without spending hundreds of thousands of dollars before you figured out if people actually like it. So it's okay to work a regular job while funding your business until you get to a point where you can step away and really, put forth 125,000% effort. So
That's great advice. I think so many of us started out with a side hustle or idea beforehand, because you forget as women entrepreneurs, we're responsible for all of our, monthly costs in addition to health insurance and other obstacles that founders face. So with that, Katie, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I'll add one thing. We see this a lot. I see this a lot with founders that they're worried about their idea being stolen by somebody else. What you cannot replicate is the execution that you bring. And your background, your experience is all unique. That's what's proprietary. And when you can execute on that, that is where the magic happens. So it's not, Ashley's jacket is incredible, by the way. It's amazing. But a lot of people probably could figure out how to knock it off, maybe, right? But it's all about her execution and her viral videos. Like, I'm obsessed with her. She knows I'm obsessed with her social media. And Allison's product is incredible. And the fact that they figured out how to put this product into a tea bag and make it so flavorful and delicious is amazing. And by the way, I'm buying the Nancy's green glasses, those sunglasses. They are so cute. They're amazing. But these are all products that everybody that are out there. There's other eyeglasses out there. There's other mixer brands. There's other jackets. But it's about these women that are sitting here and executing on what they're doing.
Absolutely. And like Ashley said, someone believed in you, right? It's all about, showcasing your product and having marketplaces and giving women opportunities for their product to be shown and their stories told.
And one thing to Katie's point, right? I have 2 utility patents and 1 pending. But speed to market is important, So if you're so worried about someone stealing it that it causes you to freeze and you do nothing, then it's just as useless as not having an idea at all. So not only is it about the product, but it is about your branding. It's about your customer service. It's about how personable you are with your customers. That'll make someone shop with you over, a huge brand who doesn't really see the individual. They just see a data point.
And the patent, by the way, very smart. Create your moat, get your patents, get your trademarks, pay the lawyers, they're worth it.
All right, well, I think that's all we have time for. I think the judges may be having their final answers. Lisa, back to you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I want to thank our fabulous panel for sharing their insights and experiences. It's another great example of how the Enthuse Foundation brings women founders together to share actionable information that can truly impact their businesses in a positive way. Please join me in giving our panel another round of applause. Thank you so much, Kelly, for moderating this inspiring conversation. Please join me over here. And I know you have an exciting announcement to share.
I do. Thank you, Lisa. I'm so proud to be a part of the Enthuse Foundation. I would like to bring up my colleague, Matt, please, from Kendra Stott up to the stage. All year, Matt and I have been partnering with the Enthuse Foundation to give back opportunities, both in person and virtually, like earlier tonight, where a percentage of every purchase made gives back to the Enthuse Foundation, was donated directly back to the foundation.
Many of you supported during Women's History Month and leading up to Mother's Day, as well as attending our International Women's Day celebration at our Soho store. Thanks to those efforts, we were able to raise $2,500 towards a brand new Enthuse Foundation grant that we are very excited to announce this evening. The new grant is called the Entrepreneurial Spirit Award, presented by Kendra Scott Soho and B2B-KP by Kellyanne Parker.
All our 2024 pitch competition applicants were eligible and were asked in their application about business challenges they've overcome and leadership traits that they have led to their success. Based on their answers and overall story, Once the pitch competition finalists were selected, the Enthuse Foundation team narrowed it down to the remaining applicant pool to 3 finalists for this year's award. All 3 of them happened to be a part of tonight's marketplace.
Kelly and I are so honored and proud to announce this year's Entrepreneurial Spirit Award presented by Kendra Scott Soho and B2B KP by Kellyanne Parker. This year's winner reminded me of Kendra Scott's own entrepreneurial journey, of selling at local markets and events and local boutiques. And I loved her venture to honor the past and protect the future. You may know who you are at this point. Without further ado, this year's winner is Dr. Corey Amos of the Spice Theory. Doc, please come up and
That was great. That was great. Thank you, Kelly and Matt. As we get ready to bring our judges back on stage, I want to take another opportunity to thank our sponsors who made tonight possible. Again, our funding sponsors this evening are 21 Seeds Tequila, 1919 Investment Council, Accountability, the Alera Group, Alliance, Citron Cooperman, Cross Agency, Fidelity Investments, Illy Cafe, Kendra Scott, Stacked, and Webster Bank. And tonight's in-kind sponsors are B2B KP by Kellyanne Parker, Brand Spoken, Cheeky, Emerge CPG, Hummingbirds, Luminary, and Seafood Media. In addition, I want to encourage you to connect with the Enthuse Foundation, not only through social, but also by subscribing to the excellent Foundation newsletter and email updates. And as an important reminder, as a nonprofit organization, these events are not possible without our sponsors, our donors, our supporters. We greatly appreciate any donation you are able to make to support women founders. You can make a donation using this QR code. All right, I have just learned that we have some pitch night winners. So let's get right to it. Let's get the judges and our co-founders, and let's get them back up here. Come on up. Let's give them a round of applause. Please line up here on the stage. Okay, we're going to start with the Audience Choice Award with a prize package valued at $3,000, including $2,500 in cash. Eugene and Nicole, will you join me at the podium to reveal the winner?
The winner of the 2024 Enthuse Foundation Pitch Competition Audience Choice Award is Private Packs.
Woo! They're sitting in the seats now, which is throwing me off because I was just reading the seats. Congratulations! Our next award is the Runner-Up Award. The runner-up will take home prizes valued at more than $25,000, including $10,000 in cash. Woo! And now I'd like to ask two of our judges, Jack and Ariane, to come and say a few words about this winning pitch.
So we felt that tonight's runner-up pitch was enthusiastic. This company had great branding, a great health and sustainability component, and we were super proud to judge for them.
And the runner-up of the 2024 Enthuse Foundation Pitch Competition is Joni.
Sign the checks. I sign the checks. Congratulations, Claire. All right, everyone. This is it. The moment we've all been waiting for. It's time to reveal the winner of the 2024 Enthuse Foundation Pitch Competition. Let's hear from Kim and Christy, our Enthuse Foundation co-founders.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you to everyone for joining us this evening, and I'm super excited about our winner. This product has a great market fit, the timing to hit the market, the taste profile is incredible, and it delivers on a consumer need. The branding is phenomenal, and tonight's winner is truly special. Kim, would you like to do the honors?
Yes, but before I announce the winner, I'm going to make you wait. I just want to thank everyone for being here. It's been an incredible evening, but I really want to thank our judges, our finalists, and our sponsors, along with our clients. But tonight, this grand prize winner will take home a prize package valued at more than $35,000, including $15,000 in cash. And the winner of tonight's 2024 Enthuse Foundation Pitch Night competition is Unbothered.
I'm shocked. The other women in this competition were so amazing. You guys truly did awesome. So I'm lucky to be up here.
What are you going to do with the prize money?
Go to Disney World.
All right, stay here, and let's have all of the other of tonight's finalists join us here on stage. That does it for another Enthuse Foundation Pitch Competition. Thank you so much for coming. And thank you again to our amazing sponsors, judges, and finalists. The marketplace and the bar are reopening. Please make your way to the marketplace. And to everyone watching online, thank you for joining us. And make sure you follow the foundation on social media. The online marketplace is still open for you. I'd love to call any of the employees of Enthuse to the stage and any of our clients to the stage for some photos. We'll see you all at the next foundation event. Have a great